Yo, welcome back to more March Comes In Like a Lion, episode 44. This is the end of the second season of the anime for the foreseeable future, or maybe ever, which is a damn shame because this anime is incredible, easily in my top anime at this point. It's just such a good show. Like, I can't even... I've praised it in so many ways throughout this reaction series, and you know we'll get into more, I guess, conclusive thoughts in the post-episode discussion after I watch this one and when I reflect on the series as a whole up to this point. I know there's much more to the story after this in the manga, many more stories to see from Rei and from our characters that we've come to love at this point, that I've come to love. And I know whatever note we end on here will probably be a maybe setup for the future. I mean, we already kind of got that with Hina being thankfully accepted to Rei's high school. She worked so hard for it, Rei being there for her, even when she got the code after learning Takahashi was going to be moving, thinking of just how she's lost so many people, you know, and we see that from her grandmother and her mother and her father, and now Takahashi, and understandably she was very distraught by that, ashamed that she's had to experience that has been, you know, normal to her at this point. It's a really heartbreaking thing. I didn't even know what to say during all that, but she got sick after that, obviously after being in the cold for so long. But thankfully Rei, just being the rock, she was going through all these thoughts like, what if I forget everything, what if my fever doesn't go down, like, or just Kata's, I don't even know the word, catastrophizing, is that a word? But essentially that, about everything that could go wrong, and Rei just reassuring her like, you're not going to forget, you know, this material, it will be okay, if you need anything, I'm here. You know, I'm here for you. That just that, and saying it, you know, with this smile and just such a warm way too. Like he just like emanates warmth at this point. And I almost want to go back and watch the first episode just to see how different it feels. I'm so used to Rei where he's at now, and I can remember where he used to be, but that is character development right there, right? And and that was wonderful. So after that, you know, Rei, you know, escorting her to school for the exam, and you know, Hina once again reflecting on that thought, but you know, seeing Rei in front of her, thinking of how Rei was there and has been there for her, and that she has so many people that are there for her and that love her, and instead, you know, focusing on the gratefulness of that, of who she has. Not everyone has left her. What allowed herself to be grounded and to keep moving forward and to focus on what was in front of her. She passed the exam, and you know, we saw that, and that's such a wise thing for her to learn at her age, of course, the lessons that she's been forced to learn, but that's a very valuable thing, and I'm so glad that she was able to have that, and I guess for Rei to help her realize that, right? So we see what that has meant to her, and we see her perspective now. And then we got the same thing for Rei, the way he beautifully described it, of like finding the light that wasn't inside of him, that wasn't there before, you know, that was ignited in that moment when he reached out to her, right? And how she became a part of him, and just this pure love he has for her as a human, right? To be there. And it's a beautiful thing. It really just shifted this in him. Like he's so outside of his own mind now that it's beautiful to see that bleed into all his other relationships. Is really great too, like with his father at the very end. We saw Koda at the end of last episode. I don't think I mentioned that in the post-episode discussion, but that was a very sweet thing, and it feels different now. We see Rei's smile, we see the way they're able to just casually engage conversation without, you know, this undertone of sadness from Rei. And we can even picture in the rematch they'd have now how much different it would feel, you know, with Koda mentioning that, how it felt in the very beginning with Rei facing him, and how it felt like he was, you know, punching him. And even that would be so much different now given Rei's state of mind. And we see that how he's changed in terms of how he sees like Nikaido and his interactions with him, and seeing how just bright Nikaido is, and being able to appreciate that now. His match like with Soya, and like the way that felt. There's just so many aspects that have gone well for Rei, or have created like these experiences that I'm happy that he's been able to have, and I guess continue to grow, because that's important too. Like he's at this point, and it like it facilitates more growth within him as a character, that everything is so open now, right? And he can read into other people a lot more easily and have those connections. It's great. So that's where we're at now, and I'm glad that's what that last episode was. So we saw that from those two. We saw that from the grandfather talking about the very beginning, how he has to live, you know, to see them off to get married, right? Which is a very old school thought, but you know, it's real. Like, just the sentiment of that, wanting to be there for his family. Like, he is all they have, right? Like, losing his wife, losing, you know, his daughter, you know, their grandmother and their mother. That's that just duty, right? That is like, as a grandfather, as a human, as just that love, of course, right? Of course. So he's doing everything he can. His blood pressure is lower. That's great. You know, he's taking care of himself. Family will definitely change that, or just, you know, having that. So we've seen it from Akari, we've seen it from Momo, everyone. You know, there's so much love and support just from everyone in this show, and that's where we're at now. So whatever happens next, we'll be ready for. Let's go. Beginning the episode in 3, 2, 1. A thin voice. Hey, it's me. Oh, yeah, this is okay. Yeah, this is his adopted mother. We haven't seen her in a long time. Oh, Taro, good boy. Oh, okay, great. Huh. I like we're getting her perspective. Probably, but that'd be tough to break through in one visit at least. Yeah, yeah. They're good shit. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. So mellow. She can feel it. People have different paces. Oh boy, we're getting into this. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Tough. It's not entirely wrong. I relate. I relate. I agree. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. What it actually took. Really? Huh. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. He was. Which is so fucked up. Wow. Wow. That's a real thought, I suppose. Goodness. Wow. That's wrong. Yeah. Look at him. Look at little Ray. So you acknowledge that. That's exactly what he thought. Didn't even say it. My god. Huh. I'll come again. And he did. Oh. Hey. Long time no see. Oh. Goodbye once again. Whoa. Tuh. Jesus. Can't even imagine. Uh. That's a very real thought. Those are some raw thoughts right there. Okay, well that was interesting. Hmm. Interesting visit there. You know, yeah, she's besides Ayumu. Actually, Ayumu is, but second to him the least we know the feelings of is her, I suppose. And so I guess to get the scope of that is like cool, I guess. I say I guess because it is like a just kind of a real kind of raw kind of fucked up thought as a parent, as the adopted parent of Ray, and the reason he he is how he is, and why her own children were a certain way and couldn't surpass him in shogi, and just acknowledging the fact that yeah, he put in that work, right? Like not even a matter of like not everyone can just make it. I mean, I guess that's true, but it's because not everyone is like Ray, or I guess like Koda. And honestly, it takes desperation to put in that kind of work. Like you need desperation to be at that level. He's huge, dude. That kid's a man. Hey, there you go. That was a big boy cheers. Oh, she just found out. That's cool. Oh my goodness. He has a fan. That's awesome. Actually, it's moments like this that you see how Takahashi is a kid, because just his raw admiration for Ray. Hey. Ooh. Jesus. Wow. Oh, snap. That's great. Right. Something tangible. Got it. Oh, we better see him play. Even if I have to go to the manga for it. It's a big choice. I respect it. Nice. Hmm. Hmm. Nice. From March Town. Represent. Nice. Look at this moment. Remember it, Tina. Hey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Etch it into your heart. It'll stay there. Tina is so grown up in the way she thinks that she could appreciate that moment more than her sadness. And it goes on. As always. Hey. Mm-hmm. Great choice. That's a long phrase. What a joy. And oh, there he goes. Oh, Grandpa's so proud. Hmm. You'll see him again. What? Such change. Kakari. Goodness. Nice. There you go. As she goes into high school. The springtime. uh, oh, does she not like the hair? I've been there. I shaved my head one summer. Terrible idea. Oh? Oh, there you go. A middle school look. That does make her look younger. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Oh man. When your barber isn't at the barber shop. Oh god. I love his screams. They're so like real. What Kokeshi no? Oh Momo. uh oh my god. Jesus Christ. Child of Marchtown. Wow. And that's the end. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, there you go. I guess next is high school for Hina. Whatever's next for Ray. We didn't really get that this episode, but is what it is, man. We'll have to wait to see if there's more or if I go to the manga. Now I really have to go because I want to know what Ray is going to do next. Damn it. Oh, here we go. First day of high school? It'll go back. Oh. Stare. Oh my god. Okay. Huh? Wow. Momo. There you go. All right, well, oh. Oh my god. She was singing along. Mm-hmm. So supportive. There it is. It's finally over. Yeah. Oh man. Bye. Damn it. Ah. I'm looking at this final image. God, that made me emotional, man. Like, thanks for watching. Yo, we'll see you again. Hopefully, we'll see you again. Bye bye. Oh man, that hit me. But just looking at everyone in this image, just how so many of them made such an impression on me. There it is. Wasn't fully the ending I expected, but I like that they added the post-credit scene of just, you know, Ray taking Hina out of school. We don't know what's next for Ray, but I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Which is reading the manga or hopelessly waiting for potentially more anime. The beginning was interesting in seeing Ray's adoptive mother's perspective and I guess her views about her own kids versus Ray, kind of her denial there, but also like facing the reality that, you know, he worked harder, he was a good kid, and that he was actually, you know, similar to Koda in that way, how Koda could relate to Ray more than his own kids, just being the way they are regarding shogi and their work ethic. I don't know, there was a lot of like raw, kind of fucked up, but just like raw, like real thoughts there about, you know, why her kids, you know, weren't like Ray, and even like having that kind of comforting dream of Ray being like them, kind of just being unfocused and just being around, just snacking and being rude, and it was like comforting to her, like that dream, because yeah, and I could see that, you know, struggle there. Of course, that doesn't excuse the fact that they just let him, I guess, because she acknowledged how like he never raised his voice about anything, never, even when he left, he didn't, though he could tell that him being there was causing him suffering, that he just decided to leave to alleviate that. He didn't even mention that. He just, you know, it's like, well, like I'll come back again, right? And she's like, yes, please come back. And then that was it, right? Like, it was cool at least, I guess, to see her perspective. Ray hugging Taro at the end of that, though, was very just, you know, after seeing, you know, the flashback of him hugging him as a child when, you know, the mother was, you know, conceding about him back actually being a good boy. That was great, man. I loved that moment, and seeing him now as an older dog and after so long, and, you know, wishing him a long life, saying goodbye once again. Oh man, that was good, man. That was good. Spent some time with Takahashi, Ray, and Hina with him, and I guess, you know, Hina wanting to break down because, you know, understanding that that was the last time that they were gonna really get to hang out together, and seeing how he's moving on in his life. And oh man, I can't wait. Maybe in the manga, like, they go to see if he does make it pro, if you go to see one of his games. I don't know how far the manga is right now, like time wise, but it'd be cool to catch up with him again in the future. Eventually, after all that, Hina finding the appreciation in just the moment, right? Like, it's nice, it feels good, but, you know, it was slipping away, she felt, as, you know, they were walking together and they were about to depart from each other, feeling the happiness of it. Like, it was great. Like, I'm glad we got to do that together, and just, you know, you can remember that moment, right? It's like, that's just life, right? You just hold on to those moments, you etch them into your heart, and you move on to the next thing to, I guess, hopefully have more moments like those, right? It's the only way that you can create more. Here we are, Hina grown up a bit more, going into high school. Ray, you know, taking her, cutting her hair, like abandoning her childhood, but, you know, the funniness of that, she didn't like her haircut, it makes her look even younger. Ray just repeatedly complimenting her, trying to reassure her that he did like her haircut, just being uber supportive as always. I don't know, it was just like a a nice ending. Actually, this kind of ending, just because we don't really know what's next for Ray, or like what's, you know, gonna come next, because, you know, this is the end of the anime, just makes me crave even more. Fuck. Oh man, I've given a lot of like thoughts like this throughout my reactions, but yeah, this anime, it's hard for me to rank things, but it's easily one of my top anime. Emotionally, it has hit me harder than anything I've ever watched. It's jabbed me repeatedly. It's made me tear up more times than I can remember, more than any other anime. It's like a real show with real people with real ass problems, and they balance it very well in terms of its warmth and its sadness. Is that like it hits like a big scope of emotions and so many like nuanced things, and they delve into a lot of things that are relatable and things that I haven't really seen like other anime or shows like touch on and, you know, get into. And it's nice that this show was able to hit those notes, and it just reaffirms this thought I have, which is like, it's amazing this even exists. It's amazing that I was able to experience this, right? Like there's like there's gonna be a lot in my life that I won't get to experience, like books I won't get to read or things I won't get to see, because there's just so much out there. But this, I'm so glad I was able to. More than just like how beautiful it is, how relatable it is, I can like apply many things from this show to my own life. It made me think about many things, like even in the last episode with Hina, like finding, you know, gratefulness in things rather than focusing on what she lost, right? That is something that can remind me, you know, Ray at this point where he's at versus how he was before, very much in his head. I can relate to that problem of being so much in my head that I can sometimes be blind to the people around me. As much as I try to be empathetic, it's something that happens. So to remind me to like check myself and focus on, you know, what's in front of me, right? Like that's a big reminder in this show as well. Or Hina, just like in the moment that was slipping by with Takahashi, just finding the appreciation in that versus the sadness, like focusing more on the sweet rather than the bitter, even though both are there. Like that's what's most important. Like enjoy it, you know, savor it, right? There's a lot of things like that in this show, and because this is a real show, deals with a lot of real things. Again, shout out Umino Chika for writing just these characters this way. I guess the most of anything I've seen, the most applicable just to such a wide range of problems, and I love it, you know. I really do. I love this show. I truly do. And so I feel like I'm mourning something right now, just because to say goodbye to it is again making me just want to reach for the manga instinctively. But I guess this is goodbye for now, because I do want to hold out some hope for the anime. I know it's basically not there, just because I remember being told either by Nitna or someone that, you know, the cost for it for Shaft would just, not sure fully of the details there. But yeah, I'm just kind of sitting with this right now. It's finally over. God, I always get this feeling when I finish a show, but this one is hitting especially hard right now, just because it's always been there for so long. Like, how long have I been watching this show? Like almost like, wait, 2 episodes a week, sometimes one. 6 months maybe, like with 44 episodes. Yeah, like about 6 months. Like this has just been a constant thing I've been experiencing, and now it's just, this anime is over, right? And there's still so much I want to see, so many characters I want to catch up with. The manga calls. But anyway, broken record, but it's just such a gorgeous, it's such a heavy but warm show. And once again, I get the bittersweet feeling that I don't know if I'll ever watch something as beautiful as this again. And I'm sure I'll watch plenty of things that are beautiful in different ways, but this one was just so special that it feels especially bittersweet right now. But I guess to talk about something tangible, Ray's character development has been a joy to watch. He's made a lot of steps, he's made a lot of progress, but that was the moment, right, where he truly was able to focus on being there for Hina, and that was like the big thing, and that bled into all his other relationships and everything else, and it was such a positive impact. So I love that development for Rei, and again, like I can't imagine just going back to the first episode now and how different it would feel from Rei. And a show like this that is, I guess, slice of lifey, made me care about shogi more than I could have ever thought I would, even though of course I still don't understand, you know, the game really, just, you know, beyond the show, but still, like, the way it presented it was so, sometimes so tense, so heavy, so exciting, like more than just actual fights in anime, right? It was so presented in such an incredible way that I was like, oh my god, I care about this game, and you know what it means to these players, and I guess as a medium, I guess it's like watching like art, right? Just people express themselves in whatever way. For this, it was shogi, and it translated like every emotion. Like the most recent example with like Yanagihara versus Shimada, for example, like the weight behind every move of the pieces was so crazy, and we saw that in many matches throughout this show, which was amazing, right? So I love that this show took something like that and just made it representative of so much more. Like, that is crazy. And the consistency of this show is to be praised too. Like, there was never like a dull episode for me. Certainly there were episodes where more things happened than others, but there's something I can appreciate and feel in every episode. I feel like I could say just so consistent, right? Every character is so like distinct and leaves an impression. No one's like kind of just there. Even characters that basically get like no screen time, like still like the time that you do get to see them is like, man, this is a actual character with a personality and a story, and you want to know more about them. Even if you don't get that, it's like, fuck, man, every character, they just makes you care about them and want to, and just be interested in them. And I love that, man. Not every show can do that. Much like Hina, I don't want to take all the things this show does for granted, right? Because it does so much right and beautifully and so consistently that at this point it can be like, you know, well, that's just how the show is. But man, it's to be praised, you know. Fuck, man, this is such a rare show. Like, I don't even know what else to say. And it's like, I wish I could express more to people who haven't seen this show, like, to see it. I wish I could express that more, because I feel like if you like even like shows like this, like, it's one thing if the shows like this aren't like what you watch anime for, which is fine. Like, I can disagree there, but everyone has their taste. Everyone watches like this medium for different reasons. Personally, I'm open to anything that is like good or has value in experiencing. Like, I love to just, you know, see what things are and take it, you know, for what it is. And this was like, I feel like this is such a sleeper among the stuff that I watch, right? Like, among like Monogatari, or even like soon I'll be doing reactions to like Attack on Titan, you know, the next season. I feel like this one needs to be like on that tier in terms of what it does. Like, it executes so well that even though like the genre of it is less appreciated, at least on a mainstream level in terms of popularity, at least that's my impression. I could be completely wrong there. Maybe this show is, you know, the exception there, just widely regarded. I'm sure it is, and it deservedly so, if it is. I mean, hell, it's got such an amazing anime behind it. But I'm just saying, like, compared to like shows like Attack on Titan or Monogatari, which is like this is on that level, man. Like, in quality, it's just, and possibly even more. It's just so much. But yeah, and I don't at the risk of repeating myself on certain things, I think that's all I have to say for now. There's certainly more to be said. Like musically, it was great. I love the stuff from Bump of Chicken, and you know, every artist that did music on the show, the composers, and the sound design was great. Like the voices of the animals. There's so many just little things to appreciate. Yeah, man, I don't know. It was just God, what an anime. Anyway, that's all I gotta say at this point. Clearly, like I'll just be diving in and out of my feelings at this point. But yeah, that's it. If you have anything to say, just about how you felt by the end of this, or I don't know, maybe you can bait me into checking out the manga sooner. Jesus, did I just have a voice crack? I haven't had one of those in years. If there's like, I don't know, anything you want to say about it, as always, I welcome it. Because that is it. You know, and we can talk about more things if you like, but yeah, that's it. Okay, we're gonna end this. Goodbye, Threegatsu, for now. Thank you very much for watching my reactions to this show. It's clear that everyone who watches this show certainly finds like a big appreciation for it, as I've seen from those of you who have shared your comments and shared your feelings and thoughts, which I very much appreciate. Thank you for sharing those things. And, you know, thank you if you did enjoy the reactions. You know, it was a treat, and I'm glad I was able to experience and also document my experience. That's something I like doing with my reactions too, that I can have something documenting my experience with something. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time if in any other reaction of mine you decide to watch, or whatever's next. Maybe I'll do those manga reactions with Threegatsu. I'll figure out something there. I still don't know how to do that. I might have to look up an example from someone else on YouTube of a series I've already seen, because I don't want to get spoiled on things to potentially watch, but or read. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out, and we'll keep this going in some capacity. But yeah, that's it. Actually, thank you once again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.